First video of 2025, back in the workshop, and it is freezing, hence the need for a scarf, woolly hat, gilet, hoodie, t-shirt, all of it. Got a heater over there, plenty of tea on the go. Right, what I'm doing today, I've actually drawn this one up, done myself a little bit of a design. This is for a friend of mine. He's got a bathroom mirror that he's bought that's a metre tall by nearly 700 wide. And what he wants me to make is like a little cabinet almost that goes behind it, and then we're going to hinge it. So it's like a bathroom vanity mirror thing, but he's only got the mirror, and I'm going to make the backing for it. So let's get stuck in.
The reason for my being, believing that I'm achieving, avoiding demons and scheming, feeding for blood, I feel they grieving.
This is a little bit dull, and I don't want it to kind of chew the wood up and stuff, so I'm going to have a go at sharpening it. And if you remember, like I've always said to you lads, keep your bits clean and your bits will, well, I don't want to go into that too much, but anyway, I'm going to try and sharpen this up a little bit. Diamond sharpening stone, and I'm just going to take the flat edge of the bit. You only need to sharpen the flat edge. I'm just going to run it up and down, count the number of times you do it, so you want to do it equal on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then flip it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see there's some line of residue come off there, so I think that's sharpening of the carbide tips, I think. And then just with your lever strop, just give it a little run there as well, just to take off any burrs. And hopefully when we put this in the router, we'll get a nice clean cut and it won't be just ripping it to shreds. So let's try that next. And then what we're doing on the router is put this kind of little jig together, and because we want to create a box joint at the corners to try and add a bit of strength, because the whole depth of this thing is only 50 mil, so I don't want to just do a butt joint, and I don't want to just do a rebate. I want to try and do something a bit more, A, because I think it'll make it a bit stronger, and B, because I'm trying to kind of enhance my skills and learn new things. Now, I know you've all seen this before. So the little jig has this notch in it, and we've cut a groove here, then you move it over, you slot it on, and you do the next one, and then eventually, once you've got to the end, you flip it round and use it as a template for your next piece, and then ideally you'll end up with a load of cool looking bits, kind of like that. So if you've got all your maths right and you've set it up right, you should end up with 2 bits like that. That's proper thin, isn't it, my measurement? I didn't think about that. However, it is what it is. So that was a bit tight. Might have to give that a bit of a pounding in a bit. No, there we go, look, in. Trim it down with a flush trim saw. Give it a sand up, and that will look all right. Here's the moment of truth. Well, that's all 4 of the corners cut now. Just trying to put it together. It is a bit, like I say, it's a bit stiff, but with a bit of persuasion, we'll get it in. Might have to cheat a bit and just round some of the corners off a bit. I think if it's a tight fit, that's a good thing though, right? Because you can take bits off, but you can't add bits on. Overall, I think that's all right. There's a few lessons I've learned along the way, which a few hairy moments on the old power tools, but not too bad. It's not too bad. I think, like I say, once I've persuaded this together, all right, that is pretty strong. I've had a little change of heart. I'm changing the order that I'm doing things. I'm not going to cut the rebates out now. I'm going to glue it up now and wait for it to dry, and then trim the edges, and then I can clamp it flat onto the bench and then cut the grooves into it then. Okay, so the glue has dried off now. I've had a heater on it for about 2 hours because it is still freezing. But what I'm always guilty of is forgetting to press record on the camera, and then I'm kind of making stuff up to cover the last bit I did. So I've just stopped. As you can see, I'm now just trimming off the excess from the box joints that we made. I'll warn you now, there's some bits I'm going to have to cheat on where a bit of the old sawdust mixed in with glue might have to come into play, just to fill a few holes that shouldn't be there really. But let's get on with it, and then I'll show you when it's done. Is with a nice sharp chisel, I want to just go over and just take these back a little bit, get them as flat as I can. I will give it a sand over at the end, of course, but I just want to try and take these down as much as I can, and keep sharpening the chisel as I go. So let's have a go. So again, I've rushed ahead and not filmed what I'm doing. So today I'm cutting the grooves where the shelves will go, and that's 20.5mm width and 5mm depth. And to do that, I'm using the router with a flush trim bit, and I've just made myself a little jig here which slots down over the piece, and then the router just kind of runs down this bit and uses these two edges as a guide. So I need to do 3 each side, so 6 in total, and the client has asked for the shelves to be spaced 250 apart, 200 apart and 200 apart. So I haven't got a lot of time today, so I think that might be all I get done. So I'm going to crack on and do that now, and then I'll just show you when I've finished, because that's not very interesting to watch me do that.
The reason for my being, believing that I'm achieving, avoiding demons and scheming, feeding for blood, I feel they grieving. These last days seems they coming so fast paced, so hours we can't waste, but our demand space. I'm building fan base, recouping them bad days.
And then you see, once we've done that, we end up with a slot here that the hinge will sit in, and then that's completely flush with the back of the mirror, so that the whole thing should be tight up against the frame when it's shut. And there you have it, friends, a super slimline bathroom cabinet. It's only very shallow, and it's recessed in from the edge, so when you're looking at it in position, it will just look like a shadow gap behind it. It's hinged, so when you open it up, you've got a couple of shelves inside, just for your toothpaste and toothbrushes and a few little bottles and whatnot. And there you go, finished just in the nick of time, because the client's on his way over to come and pick it up now. And again, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and a like, and leave any comments below. As always, I've put some links down below to some tools that I've used on the job. It's an Amazon affiliate, so if you click and buy, I might get a couple of pennies to help towards the next project. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.